lead to the historic Big Dome, the Ateneo Coliseum, as ABS-CBN Sports proudly presents the fiercest rivalry in Philippine collegiate sports. It's the Ateneo de Manila Blue Eagles against the De La Salle Green Archers here in Season 73 of your UAAP.
I feel energized when I hear the USD crowd cheer, "Go, Ste!" It always brings me great pride to represent my school, UP. Ang sarap na makiramdam, walang tatalo sa samahan. Wala akong takot, sino man ang kalaban.
I just get goosebumps
when I salute the crowd after a big play. Buo ang loob ko sa bawat laban. Ang tunay na warrior, matibay ang puso.
Nothing beats playing inside a jam-packed arena against your arch rival.
There are many stories to see, hear, and feel in the UAAP.
Season 73, ABS-CBN Sports.
The Big Dome, the Ateneo Coliseum, is once again a virtual sea of humanity divided by hues of blue and green surrounding this very court where their respective heroes will engage in a battle for basketball supremacy once more. Good afternoon, Philippines, and welcome to ABS-CBN Sports Live and exclusive coverage of the rivalry to beat all rivalries. It's Ateneo de Manila University against De La Salle University here at Season 73 of the UAAP. Live and exclusive on Studio 23, and of course, in high definition on Balls HD Channel 167. The main event, and yes, it is an event. Ateneo versus La Salle. La Salle versus Ateneo. Everybody wants to be here. Media people, politicians, showbiz personalities, students from the respective schools, and even students that don't belong to the schools want to be part of the event this Saturday. But for those who can't, welcome to our live coverage on Studio 23. Ateneo and DLSU are tied with identical 2-1 records. But before we discuss and dissect this classic confrontation, allow us to whet your appetite.
Tap going to Atkins, forward to Joshua Webb. Webb has put it on Jason. So quick 5 points by La Salle. That move by Lugo Salva. Joshua trying to foul. He is on fire.
Emotion.
Again, all the way. Yes! What a play by Alex Salamat. Back to back. 9:30 to play. 5 on the shot clock. What a play by La Salle. What a tough shot there by. Now called, foul called. Ateneo. Basket rescue. Saba from the elbow. Gets it to go. Rico Meyerhofer attacks and is denied.
The Eagles have reigned supreme the last 2 years.
Too many easy. Waiting for his move. Salva rotates.
The Archers are hungrier this season.
Now even Rivera back-to-back hits and the rebound fades away. But now just waiting for him and the bang in the bucket. Joshua finally finding a crease to bang in the bucket. Wow,
Let the battle begin.
back-to-back championships and 6 straight wins against their arch-nemesis are just some of the things that the Ateneo Blue Eagles can be proud of. But those feats are already in the past, and today they must focus on the task at hand. So Art, it's your first Ateneo Lasal game. How are you feeling?
Kinakabahan, siyempre. I'm honored kasali ako sa naging part ako ng Ateneo Lasal at nakapaglaro pa. Thankful ako.
You've been with Ateneo na for 3 years here in the UAAP and you still haven't lost to Lasal. How do you feel about that?
I feel glad that we've been consistent this past 2 years and we plan to do the same this year.
As a player, what do you feel you need to do to continue that streak?
We just have to keep on playing Ateneo basketball, be consistent, follow the game plan, and listen to instructions of Coach Norman.
You're playing in what might be your last 2 games na against Lasal here in the UAAP. What makes these last 2 games special to you?
Siguro kasi yung Ateneo Lasal kasi iba yung competition nun eh. Tsaka sobrang honored ako naglalaro ko na sa harap ng maraming tao kasi yun nga, Ateneo Lasal, gusto ng mga players maglaro doon. Tapos, yun nga, last year ko na to, so para sa akin, sobrang special na to.
Coach Norman, as of today, you've won 6 straight over Lasal and have a 9-5 record against them. Now that you're going up against Coach Dindo instead of Coach Franz, would there be any difference in facing them?
Of course, there'll be a big difference. He's a different coach, so I'm sure his offensive plays will be different, so our preparation will be different for their team. Maybe the defense will be similar in the fact that they still press a lot and trap full court. But what I've noticed from their games is that their offense is different from last year. Yes.
That's actually what I was about to ask. What does make this team, this LaSalle team, different from last year's?
They're a very young team, but they're very energetic. They're very talented. They just don't have the experience yet. So I'm really going to have to do a good job of trying to individually scout their players because I'm not really familiar with a lot of their games, the way they play, and make sure our players are prepared.
Thanks, Coach. That was Coach Norman Black of the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Well, the Ateneo side of things are talking about that 6-game winning streak that dates back to 2008. But the LaSalle community believes that that streak probably and might end today. They have not experienced a win against Ateneo since 2007, September 30 to be exact. That was a step-ladder format when Coach Franz Pumaren was still coaching. Hello and welcome once again to our live and exclusive broadcast of Ateneo versus LaSalle here in Season 73 of the UAP. Boom Gonzalez, TJ Manotok for ABS-CBN Sports. TJ, you know, it's a perfect time for them to meet early here in the eliminations. They're both coming in after a win. Both of them have a bit of a glitch in their team records. Of course, Ateneo against FEU, they lost. LaSalle against NU, they lost. So, medyo maganda yung pagpasok nila dito sa matchup na.
Well, you couldn't have drawn it up any better if it were this early in the season. They're both at 2-1, both coming off 2 very emotional victories. Let's put it that way. Ateneo, you know, there's that mini rivalry between Ateneo and USC. That was a big win for them. It wasn't easy all throughout the game. First 3 quarters, USC was hanging tough. Talking about LaSalle, that was a big emotional win for them also. If you could draw it up any better, that was the best kind of win that you could get out of LaSalle before going up against Ateneo today.
Now, because they have identical records at 2-1, you know, we want to highlight some things about both teams that start with Ateneo. We want to highlight both the positives and the negatives so far in Season 73.
Well, for Ateneo, you're looking at some of the things that have gone well for them comparatively to what they've lost. They're doing well in the front court. Remember, one of the biggest questions coming into Season 73 is how will they fill the shoes of Nonoy Baclao or Rabah Husseini? Those 2 big guys provide so much offense and defense in the paint. 40 points a game so far, by the front court alone. 30 rebounds per game combined and 4 blocks per game combined. And that's not even counting the guards and small men who score in the paint. Yes. So that's a lot of points coming inside. That is 40 out of the 68.7 that they average. But here's the problem. They are the worst shooting 3-point team today. And that is not the case. That's not what Coach Norman wanted out of his team. He wanted them to be the best, same as last year. But they're only averaging 15.9% from 3-point territory, and they have to do something about that. I think that also involves missing Rabah Husseini, and we'll explain that later more in the game.
That's a big drop from the almost 32% that they averaged last year. More on the rivalry between Ateneo and LaSalle, and we will talk about LaSalle when we come back after this short break.